So, where does the yoga that I teach come from? How far back can we trace the origins of this? So, I teach a modified, lightened version of the Ashtanga primary series. The primary series is what I studied both times I was in India. There's a lot of lotus and heavy knee stuff and some stuff that's a little intense, that since I teach such large classes, I kind of reduced some of those things because there's such a different variation and levels of people. But where does Ashtanga yoga come from? So Ashtanga yoga was made popular by Patabi Joyce. I'll post a picture. But Patabi Joyce, and more importantly, his Western students. So students from America, like Tim Miller, who I actually studied with, and Patabi Joyce's son too, who I actually studied with. But I may mention them later. So they found him in India and got really into the style and brought it to America and England. But so Ashtanga yoga is six different sequences. The the sixth sequence, say that 3 times, is said to be only done by a few people in America. One of those people is Patabi Joyce's grandson, Sharat, who is teaching in his space in India today. Whether he actually does that every day or not, I don't know, because it's supposed to be pretty extreme. But these 6 sequences were given to Patabi Joyce as 4 sequences from Krishnamacharya. I'll try to insert a picture at the end. So Krishnamacharya gave these 4 sequences to Patabi Joyce based on Patabi Joyce's personal needs and body type, and then also to go out and teach these sequences. But Patabi Joyce took the 4 sequences and kind of chopped them into 6, which is Ashtanga yoga as we know it today, which is a very specific gathering of sequences. Again, the primary series is the arc that my class is based on. It's with the sun salutations going to the stanza series and the rest. So where did Krishnamacharya get the 4 sequences that he gave to Patabi Joyce? There's a book by Krishnamacharya's son, Desikachar, that says he asked his father about the story that Krishnamacharya got the sequence from a teacher in the caves of the Himalayas. He was given them by some yogi that was hiding in the caves. He said that when his father told him this, his father winked. So there are a couple books on the origins of yoga as we know it today, because all of the yoga that we're doing, except for with the exception of Kundalini, mostly come from these early sequences in the Krishnamacharya influence. He's basically the godfather of all that we do. So he was hired to teach people meditation in the Mysore palace, children, in fact. And he was looking for a way to calm not just children, male children, little boys. He wanted to calm them down so that he could teach them meditation, because they were just like running around. So he came up with these sequences. He was employed in a gym. So the sun salutations were already being done, which is the opening sequence, which I called the push-up, up dog, down dog, and then into the warrior one in the Surya Namaskara A and B. the sun salutations were being done already as a separate workout. Like if you went to a gym today, there'd be like, the kettlebell room, or they're lifting kettlebells. So he was in this. He was teaching yoga, not yoga. He was teaching meditation in this gym, and then people were teaching the sun salutations. He's a really smart guy, and he decided he would start this yoga sequence to start the primary series, or to start all of the series with the sun salutations, which were already known and done. Now, the sun salutations, the jump back, and some of the movements come from Danish gymnastics. Well, who brought those to India, I can't say for sure. A lot of the yoga poses that he put in the primary series are named after different Hindu gods, Mrichasana, and all these. He attached a lot of that to these different postures that he picked up, some from the yogis of the street, some from the Danish gymnastics. And since India was still under British rule, there was a lot to be said about the British Army training manual, where some of the Warrior Twos come from, and some of the Warrior Ones, and some of the different sequencing. Now, he did put all these things together himself to create this large body of yoga postures that we are still using to this day. But a lot of it came from all these different spots that he took and created this piece that we use and cherish to this day. And he did that, like I said, so that he could calm the children down enough so that they can sit and meditate. Because the ultimate thing we're trying to do through yoga is get to that point where we can meditate. And to me, yoga is a moving meditation in itself. But if we're stretching the body enough, and we're working the body enough, we're getting the breath right. And I mean, there's so many things involved that we can get our physical body toned and calmed down enough so that we can start working on the mind. Now, one more thing, there's a lot of talk about the therapeutic elements of yoga, and they are there specifically in specific poses and what they can do for your body. So Krishnamacharya was also very involved in that, but it was taken to another level by Iyengar. So Iyengar did the book Light on Yoga, which has a list of all the different poses and what they do therapeutically. He was Krishnamacharya's not stepson. He had married Krishnamacharya's daughter, and he was also the one to really spread yoga in India, and because he spoke English, and out of all Krishnamacharya's students, he spoke English the best. So that's weird, right? But if you go to India, what you'll realize is there are 175 different dialects. So people in the next town can barely speak to the people in the next town unless they speak English, which again goes back to British rule, because everyone had to learn English in British rule. So it's the one thing kind of people know a little bit. It was surprising when I went there. So because of that, Iyengar was chosen to go around and do this. But Iyengar took this other element, this therapeutic element, and he brought that to yoga. And they actually had a falling out because he really strayed from this original teachings of Krishnamacharya and made it this other thing, this therapeutic thing. And that's it for today. If you have any questions, let me know. But that is deeply, as far as I've gotten, where the yoga that I teach comes from. It goes all the way back to Krishnamacharya, getting these sequencing based on trying to get young boys to meditate, taking this sequencing, giving it to Pattabhi Jois, him creating from 4 into 6, the Westerners from America discovering him, and they spread that, and at the same time Iyengar turning it into this health benefit thing and explaining the health benefits of the yoga that we practice today. Thanks for listening. If you have any comments, give me a question or a comment, and talk to you soon.